Hello, this is Regina Leutzinger with Habatat, and I want to speak on Mari Meszaros' work. We do have a couple questions that we did ask her, and she got back to us. So before we get into her work, we're going to go through our spiel here at Habatat. So here's our beautiful Mari. I don't know if it's not going.
Give her a clicky click.
Yep. And if you haven't signed up for our 8th annual Glass Coast weekend, it's going to be a lot of fun. Maybe about 10 artists already scheduled to appear with a ton of interesting and fun events going on. So if you would go to glasscoastweekend.com or send an email at Aaron at Habatat. Also, if you're able to go on our Habatat website, we have a link straight to the Glass Coast weekend with the itinerary there, so you're able to see what you'll be able to go to. So many fun events. I'll be there, of course, and I give great tours too, so please join us. We'd love nothing more than to see you in sunny Florida. There's more information. So it is February 23rd through the 26th, and there's tons of amazing artists. We have amazing retrospectives, and of course we are going to be with the Imagine Museum for the reception, giving awards and things of that nature. So all that information you're able to find on glasscoastweekend.com or at Habatat. So here's more things. We do have our auction as well coming up, and that'll be during the Glass Coast weekend. We have an amazing collection this time. I was able to work with Rob and Dave this time to do our measurements and things of that nature. And there's a couple of pieces I personally wanted to talk to my husband about getting and maybe putting some money towards them. So I might be bidding with you guys this time. So I really hope you guys are able to even see our Masterworks auction if you're not able to come to Florida. So definitely get a look out on that. Not Your Grandma's Glass. We've been doing a ton of amazing stuff with this and getting lots of traction. So we do have a 12-month exhibition focused on artists for this grandma's art collection. So for this, Aaron, I don't know entirely too much. If you could speak on this for a quick sec.
Sure. So many of you know that it's a 12-month exhibition we started in 2021, celebrating artwork that's not in Grandma's art collection yet. Each artist gets a month, and we do them usually the first of every month, the first weekend of every month, first Saturday. We try to incorporate an artist that is working in a new way, a new style. And we've learned that a lot of these works are in a lot of our collectors' collections. So it's just a great way to bring attention to them that came out of the pandemic and continues today. So it's fun following their careers. One of the artists that we had in the exhibition has a show upcoming at Heller that had their first exposure through this particular presentation. So more power to it, and tune in and check it out.
Definitely. We do tons of Zooms on these artists as well, and we send out newsletters. So if you're ever worried about missing it, just check the newsletter, and I'm pretty sure we'll keep you informed. Of course, are we having our Habatat glass tours? You'll have Ferd and Kathy side by side giving you guys amazing tours. There's more information on our website there. I believe it's international. Ferd, do you know if there's any specific places that we've locked down that you'd be visiting for the tour?
Oh, sure. Where it's a Baltic cruise, but we're starting in England and spending 4 days there looking at various studios and galleries and museums. And we are visiting Norway, Sweden, Finland. I believe we're not going to Russia, incidentally. We're Latvia, and then we're spending time in Denmark. We're going to visit the Ebeltorp Museum and Germany also. So yeah, it's going to be quite an impressive tour and a lot of really exciting stops.
Okay, I'll make sure Aaron lets me go to this because I definitely want to go, but
I'm trying to go.
Glass 51, this is so exciting. Gas is coming to Detroit for the first time, and we're going to jump on that bandwagon. So there's going to be a ton of new work that we're showcasing with more events. So keep that locked down. It's in the weekend of June 5th. Put that in your calendar and do not miss this. This is going to be something that's going to be amazing. So let's get to it. So I asked Mari Meszarow some questions that I thought I would relate to as well as everyone else. So the first question I wanted to talk about was just in general, her studio process. So I asked her about her studio process, and she says that she works with a life-size plaster cast of living people. So typically she'll fill that cast with shards of flat glass in the heat of the oven, and the plaster starts to show fissures and breaches that she intends to do, so the crack and ripples through the pieces. The purpose of this type of technique is to create a distance between the model's body as well as the artwork, so the cracks in the plasters remain unpredictable, and she uses that to her artistic ability, of course. So this is always a general idea of a posture, and during the melting process, the heat creates gleaming parts and matted ones at random. So often the end result is partly a surprise to her. So over the years, she's developed a pretty good sense of that result, of the successive heating to different degrees of what it's going to be. So when she first started, she had no idea about the techniques at all. And she was working for a technique that was suitable for the purpose that she wanted to invent, as well as the way it turned out to be a mixed one. So it's partly dumping in the glass and then partly casting and fusing it. So that's how she creates these amazing cracks and ripples in her pieces. I also asked her, like, who were the models of these types of pieces? If it was her, because I kind of thought maybe she would be casting her own self, but she says that her models are actually just her friends and acquaintances that she sees. And even sometimes she hires strangers to cast in these pieces. But mostly they're a personal relationship that she has with a person that make the work very easy, but sometimes more difficult depending on whether one is led by the routines of a long friendship or is touched by something new and suddenly reveals itself and offers a totally new perspective on the relations you have with the models or the sculptures to be. So she uses either a good stranger, and that's something new and exciting, or she'll use a friend that she has a relationship with, and it actually makes it more intimate and strengthens that relationship throughout. So that was really interesting. I asked her as well if she did commissions, because I really commissions are such an important part of art as well, because the collector gets to do a collaboration with the artist, and she says she really does work on commissions, but she wants to be completely free in what she makes. So there's no portraits or likenesses because of the artwork has to be autonomous and not a replica or imitation of any kind. But she says, however, I do accept a commission. And if she does accept a commission, she wants no restrictions or guidelines at all. So it is possible to get a commission just like any other artist, but she wants no restrictions whatsoever. So I think she's able to do it as long as she has the amazing, artistic freedom that she has. Here's another piece of hers, which I love. It's very different of her body instead. She has just the face there. Another question I asked was that if she's always just worked with glass. She said that she was educated and trained in the silicate department of the Art Academy, and she has found that glass always remains a fascinating material, and that she has a very protein character, ever changing and revealing new clarities and new depths. And she said that glass is really inexhaustible. So she really enjoys working with the glass medium. I asked also if she would qualify her work to being, feminist. And she said, no, I was never involved in any ideologic movement, and that work is not really a tool for anything else, but a pure exploitating of the glass. So it's basically just a way for her to just express herself. Truly, she doesn't see it as feminist. It's just her in her work, basically.
The works are quite stunning in the slides and the work I've seen. We've shown her, exhibited her work in a couple times since I've been around, and I found her in older catalogs of the gallery. Do you remember when you started showing her work, or have any idea when you met her or discovered her?
Whoa. No.
Good to know.
It goes way back. We started exhibiting, I think, at first through another gallery. We had a couple of pieces, and then we couldn't always get to work like for the internationals, so we would show pieces when we could. And then my ex-partner, Tom Boone, and David Jones opened a gallery in Florida. It was open for probably 2 years. And this is one of the lead artists that they had for their gallery.
Wow.
Tom
do
Jones,
have-
Tom Jones, the singer for it, or Tom Jones, somebody else?
David Jones.
David Jones.
Oh, David Jones. Got it.
And that was
So-
in 1992.
Ah, thanks, Corey. Showing up with. Someone asked the nationality of Mari. She's Hungarian, right? Regina, on your research.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good to know.
There is one thing. I have a video. I try to find a video of her actually creating her work. She didn't have anything like that during my research, but I do have a video of one of her gallery openings that we could watch, and it's really fun to see the pieces at that time when she was up and coming. So that's really interesting. I also asked her, what she was truly inspired by, and this was a really fun answer that she gave me. She said that she's inspired by daily life, and even sometimes a sideways glance at a person, or how they're moving or standing gives her an idea that she wants to stress to another level. So the body and the way it often isn't just a way or a space or a glance, that says a lot about how someone moves, and she really gets inspired by that. So even if someone's just standing there, in a very cavalier way, she gets really inspired by that, and that's how she generally creates her pieces. So it doesn't have to do with anything other than just something that she's inspired by. So you can see that in her pieces, just how they're moved in a certain way, things of that nature. I really love her work. I think it's very captivating. So
Somebody asked in the room what the backside looks like of each piece. And the backsides are rather raw. Usually there's obviously glass, and there's usually wire and mounting materials back there. Some of the works hang via bracket, and some just hang via nail. They're not super heavy because the glass is not like fully filled. It's made, just what you're seeing on the exterior is basically like a thin layer of glass of the mold that's used. But they're quite beautiful. Regina, she mentioned something about the faces. Why the faces aren't often complete. Did you have anything on that in your notes?
nothing about that, but I did.
Mostly about the body over the face in what she creates. She says she doesn't do portraits or likenesses because she
Yeah.
likes the artwork to be more anonymous, not
Yes,
a replica or imitation of any kind.
that was part of the commission for sure. I did ask her though if she had any new works or concepts, and she says that working with glass is much like going on a journey with many bends in the road and new vistas that open up, and the projects and the concepts suggest themselves as to where you're going. So I did ask if we would be able to see newer works, and she said she's always, inspired by something, and she doesn't see herself stopping anytime soon with her pieces. But I do have the video. This is a newer one I saw on her website.
Go
But
back
yeah.
to that one, will you? The one with the purple.
Yeah.
That's quite beautiful. You have any idea of the scale of that thing? Is about 24 or 18? It didn't
I
say.
mean, I could look it up for sure. It didn't say.
It
So
didn't
it
say.
didn't even have hardly any titles on her website. Her
Mhm.
website was very much like a one pager with just her work, and then just pictures of her work with hardly any titles or information. Unless
Cheryl asked how old Mari is. Any idea how old she might be?
No, actually, that was going to be one of my questions.
Gotcha.
Um,
There's a picture of her in the slideshow somewhere at the beginning, isn't there? Oh, this is kind of
yes,
cool. This
she's been working since 1979.
Gotcha.
I would think she's like in her mid-60s.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, she looks
So-
great.
What's happening with our slideshow? Oh,
There you go. It's like you're outside your cottage, Ferg, just hanging out with you. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I was
For
always
sure.
I was always moved by her work, and we showed it in person. And we've sold a couple pieces over time, and have been a big fan because her work is so powerful. And it's not
She's
so much
60
about the beautiful. You
She's
found a
61
cord?
years old.
61.
I'm sorry, she's 61 years old.
61.
Yeah, the work is so moving in person. And sometimes she has full figure scales that are up to about 70 something inches. And we have a full body, I think, in our vault at the gallery. So
For sure. So this is her website, and you're able to see what she's been working on currently. So she's still doing the body figures as well as the faces that I've added on there. This is mostly of her newer work. Yeah.
do we
And she
know
doesn't-
any museums that contain her work?
Yes. So from her CV, it just basically, it looks present. Oh, I want to say it's more in Hungary from what I'm seeing so far, but currently, wow, she's been showing from all the way from the US to actually all over the world. She's been showcasing. Wow.
So public collections,
Budapest,
Denmark,
Amsterdam,
Czech, France, Netherlands.
Madrid.
She has something in the Fine Art Museum of San Francisco.
Hmm.
So it's great to see that her work has made it into institutions around the world, but mostly in Europe. So another rare artist we have at the gallery that has available work should this kind of material, her style, catch your eye, but it isn't very impressive in person. And one of my favorite collectors that used to be with us, named Eugene Fleischer, who ended up donating his collection to the Augusta Museum in Augusta, Georgia, purchased one of the pieces during our Glass Coast weekend a few years ago. And now the piece lives on in that museum, which I should probably email her and let her know that the work is in another museum across the states. So we just wanted to do something special for an artist we are impressed by and love the work. And I'm glad you guys can come and join us today. Regina, if she looks like she's on the phone, if you have anything else to add, feel free. This is going to be a short and sweet Zoom this week. What'd you see? She looks like she's eating a sandwich. I don't know what she's doing over there.
Sorry, no, I just put someone on quick hold.
Gotcha.
It's just me in the gallery with Andrew taking pictures downstairs. So no, I was really excited to do this Zoom. You know, I love doing Zooms. You know, bear with me. I'm getting the bolts and cranes out of my system while I'm doing these, and the excitement is just coming out of me. But I really enjoy, you know, when women artists do this type of work. I know it's not feminist in any way, but I just am truly inspired by how they're able to achieve just the perfect amount, just like Karen Lamont does her work, as well as Mari Meszarow. Like, you can definitely see, you know, the touch of inspiration that she has from just the human body itself. And I love bodies of work like this. So I was really inspired to do this Zoom. I'm happy that she got back to me with the questions. She wasn't able to make it, but I know she was excited that we were doing an entire presentation of hers like this. And I can't wait to do even more Zooms as well. So that's all I've got to say.
Well, thank you, Regina. And thank you all for it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I really have always enjoyed that you see all the processes of her work. And I always get a feeling that they're ageless because of the surfaces that she uses. There's a feeling that this could have been discovered somewhere in a cave or something because of the feeling of the texture of the work. And yeah, so it's very interesting to hear her ideas. And I kind of thought that would be one of them, but maybe it was just my idea.
Right. Well, her work is about the passing of time as well, right? So you have some of that wrapped into it because you have these instant moments of movement that mean something to an individual, whether they know you or not, and that's trapped forever, kind of like Antoine Leperlier does, where his work's about time. It's trapped forever to experience that moment. So you're onto something. Regina, you kick it forward to a piece, her process image you had up earlier. I'd love to see that again too, because I didn't have a full glance of that. Seeing her cover somebody in plaster.
Yeah. So like I
That's
said,
always
again, it's
exciting.
either someone she knows or a complete stranger. And I think it's such an intimate process to do with a complete stranger,
Yeah,
but
no
it'll make
kidding.
her work more, I don't know, more interesting to do in a sense.
Some serious trust going on there.
Yeah, really.
Just curious.
Do you have any more
Let's-
slides after this one, Regina?
I have this video of,
Yeah, go ahead and play it.
Video.
yeah.
I'd like to see her. I doubt the sound will work, but we'll take a gander through it. It's kind of like a 7-minute video, so I'll have you click through a little bit so you can see what's going on. Was there a date and time on this video? Because
So this is Mari right here, the blonde.
uh-huh. And this looks like, the 90s.
She had some very, very fun things going on at this event.
I wonder where this was. This is on YouTube.
Yes.
Or do you know this guy?
No.
Yeah, Ferd, who is this?
Tell us more about this video you know nothing about.
Bird, you could have told us that was you. No one would have
I
known.
think it's Ferd.
I don't know what's going on here.
No,
Though. This is
that's
kind of wild.
That was me. That was.
That's Corey and Regina, actually.
Corey, you're doing a great job.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. Thank you. I got a swan thing going. That's my cradle position.
We're going to be reenacting this in the gallery, everybody. So make sure you practice so we can all do it
Corey, you
together.
still have that turtleneck? We might need it for the.
I do, and that's downward hog, not dog. Hog. It's a very difficult position to
Oh
get
my
into.
gosh.
That's too funny. Sometimes.
This is more of her work. So obviously she had sketches.
Wow.
That's a
Oh,
beautiful
wait.
piece.
Sorry. I don't know why it's not for you.
I love the incorporation of like the different materials it looks like, and they all look like they're from the same age.
I do love how raw the work is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She reminds me of like Jacqueline, was it Huffman?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Baquelin.
Whalen,
Whalen, gotcha.
who's also a painter.
Oh, is she? Cool.
I don't know why my volume's going. I don't know if you guys can hear the music or if it's just
We
me.
can't.
No, it's
You
okay.
have to share the sound, but don't worry about
Look
it.
at Henry Moore.
You don't need the
Mhm.
sound. It's just visually stimulating of her drawings.
That's nice.
Drawings are great.
It's easy to get rid of the flanges by just polishing down the glass. So I'm really happy she kind of leaves that archaic feel in the work.
Yeah.
Lubinsky's work the same way. The mold explodes at a certain point and some of the glass oozes out.
Mm.
And so, that's what I mean when I say flange.
Gotcha.
But look at that.
Flashing.
And usually she uses the dark colors, like grays and blacks. And then she started diving into like lighter blues, lighter grays.
And she incorporates copper in a lot of
Yeah.
her work because of the melting point.
I do love how raw her pieces are. I think it gives a testament to what she wants to portray in the movement of her pieces.
Well, thank you, Regina, for finding a little bit of history right there on the old YouTube. It's great that they have it. It looks like it was at Vito Cezzo or something like that in the bar. They're definitely stunning works.
Yeah.
This is the closest we're going to get to this show. But at least there's some record of it transferred from VHS, I'm sure.
I
Very
know.
neat.
This is
It's
why
cool they-
technology is so important.
Yeah, it's nice how they incorporate the drawings in with the exhibition.
I love that.
Yeah.
I also kind of get a surreal feel, like a Francis Bacon feel from some of the drawings.
Yep.
Or Lucian Freud. They weren't friends, by the way.
Oh, wow. So that was the video. This is Mari again. She sent me this picture of herself. She said, "This is me now."
It's great to have her. Well, thank you,
Yeah.
Regina, for putting a little presentation and sharing a little bit of Mari's world. Go ahead and stop sharing.
Thank you.
Let's see if any more people said you're doing a great job, Regina, and they like the work as well. And so thank you, everybody, for joining us for the weekend for a short little
Thank
visit
you.
in the work of Mari Meszarow. We have a couple pieces in the gallery available, and I'm sure we'll have them on display during probably our 51st International in June, so people can experience them in person. If you have any questions, I'm available. Regina's available. Corey, Ferd, the whole Habatat family.
We're here for
So,
you.
We're here for you, for sure. Well, contact us anytime, and I hope everybody has a great weekend.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye,
Hello.
everyone.
Regina.
Thanks again.
Thank you. That was really interesting.
All right, have a good weekend.